with a man who they said was Greek, and I was the Jew and he was the Greek, and it was the minority of Wrocław. And I said, so are you Greek? Where are you born? No, I'm born here in a village outside of Wrocław. Oh, so you're really Polish? Yeah, but you know, everybody think of me as Greek. Okay, so we have something in common. Everybody thinks about me as the Jew. So, of course, you play certain roles and you take those roles. And I'm actually happy to take that role because I do think to be a European Jew is an important role to play in post-war. We are not post-war anymore, but after Holocaust and being second generation of survivors of Holocaust, I think it's an important role. And here you have. That's why I renovated the synagogue. There was not a question for me why. It was just something I had to do. Why renovate the synagogue? For me, it was like, well, if I had the possibility to do it, I had to do it. It's my history. I have to reclaim my history. They killed almost all of us. They stole our property. And here's this building, and we're in New Europe, and there is a chance. And here is my role. I just have to kind of be a player in this whole game. What I didn't know, that I had such fantastic partners in people who were Polish Wrocławers, who felt the same as me, but from a different angle. They felt like repairing that building was like repairing something for themselves. It was like, it was really not comfortable that this huge building, this synagogue, was just standing there and nothing really happened with it. It was not being repaired. So they felt it as important as me, which is always important when you work together with people, that everybody strives for the same thing. So suddenly, so why is that synagogue suddenly become so important for Wrocław? There are hardly any Jews here. In all of Lower Silesia, there are about 330 Jews. And everybody, if they come like a president to Wrocław, they come. If they come a prince, he's coming. Everybody's coming, and Dalai Lama and everybody to the synagogue. Because everybody's kind of repairing, because we know our history. We're now celebrating 70th anniversary of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. And everybody said to me when I started 30 years ago singing Yiddish, European Jewish songs, oh, it's so narrow, it doesn't, you know, it's some Jews are interested in that, and it's not really something that you know, it's just a small group of audience. I see it's becoming more and more important because it's part of European history. It's about our common history. It's not only my history, it's all the Europeans, and the Holocaust is a measurement for human rights, for us. And since we live in the city where the German Jews were exterminated and where the Polish Jews, I mean, most of those exterminated at that time came from Polish territory, and the Poles came to Wrocław after the war, settled here Polish Jews who had survived, but then because of anti-Semitism, they had to leave, and that synagogue is in such a terrible state because, not because of the Nazis, because of communism, and it had deteriorated. So here we were in this new free Poland and new free Wrocław, and we wanted to build something together. Many people thought that when we opened the synagogue, yeah, it's one more heritage site and it's going to be empty, and you know, from time to time maybe some events there. And the small Jewish community, they have their little prayer house, so they don't really need it for every week for Shabbat services. But it became a place, like an open place. We wanted it to be a center for Jewish culture and education, but not only for Jewish culture and education, but for everybody to come, like an open house, that we have a common history. Through that very tragic history, we built something new. We have flamenco, we have Indian dance, we have lots of different things, and we have our history. Because one thing is to be diverse or whatever, but it's a very specific building. It's a Jewish building with its history, with its 800 years history that is back in the balcony, and so on and so forth.